Good morning, or is it afternoon? Hold up, I don't even know what time it is. It's afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How you guys doing today? So, this is being broadcast simultaneously on both channels, my Medellin channel as well as my Veterans channel. And that is because I woke up this morning. I had three questions that were all sort of similar related to healthcare from people who are considering moving here either part time during the year or trying to get a visa to live here full time. And it started out with a question about mental health. So, even though there's a HCA here, which is a third party for veterans, someone asked, okay, so what if it's an emergency situation? I have a mental health breakdown. Where can I go to get help? And I told them to go to the US Embassy's website. If you go to the US Embassy website and you go to medical assistance, it usually gives you a breakdown, or excuse me, it will give you a breakdown of some hospitals as well as mental health facilities you can contact, right, to get help. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to pricing, because that was the other question, how much would something like that cost? I have no idea. And I spent about almost 2 hours trying to find costs for mental health. I saw nowhere, anywhere, like an example or anything online through YouTube, through Reddit, through different posts when it came to mental health and an example of what it would cost. Okay. Now, I do want to correct something that I was under the impression of that has changed. Okay. This rule has changed in Colombia. It used to be you couldn't get accepted if you went to a hospital or a clinic without showing a way to pay up front. They changed that. Now you can go be seen for whatever, but you will not leave until you pay that bill. And they accept Western Union, they accept PayPal in some places, credit card or cash, whichever way you want to pay it. All right. They do have those things. But I want to speak to you guys because travel has become popular. A lot of people from all these different videos and people talking and selling a fantasy basically to people with no or little money that they can come over here and live like a king. Okay. Well, I'm not going to get into all that. I'm just going to say that be careful who you listen to because I'm going to go over some numbers. I'm going to share a video with you guys of a lady who actually had knee replacement surgery here and show you the final numbers that she paid. Actually, she ended up paying a little less because she came with her husband. If you're someone who's traveling alone and this happened to you, you're going to need help. So that's even more money you're going to have to pay on top of that. And also, I don't know what the exchange rate was for her at the time when she had the surgery back on March 2nd of 2022. So that was the cost, whatever the rate was on March 2nd of 2022. All right. Compared to what the exchange rate is now. So it may be a little less or it could be more. All right. But this is just going to give you guys a ballpark idea. All right. So let's start with something basic. So if you go to the search engine and you type in how much is, let's say, a broken leg, right, for a cast, no surgery needed, just for a broken leg in Medellin, Colombia, you're going to come up with around 500 at a minimum up to 2,000 US dollars because that's going to depend on several factors. One, you either go into a hospital or you go into a clinic. And then the other factor is where it's located. It will cost me more here in Poblado than someone who's in San Javier. Okay. There's going to be a different price. But typically, locals who have EPS are not going to pay anything. That's the local health insurance. Okay. That's the public health insurance, EPS. All right. They're not paying a deductible. They're not paying anything. Now, I do have their top plan. And I myself went to the emergency room about 2 weeks ago, almost 2 weeks ago now. And I thought I had to pay a deductible. Well, because of the plan that I have, I thought my deductible was going to be like $10, $15 from what I was understanding from reading my policy. But as it turns out, I pay nothing. The plan that I have, which is their top plan, I ended up paying zero. All right. But it's little things like that where people need to know when you're traveling abroad, you need money. You can't just show up and everything gonna be all right. This ain't America, right? Where they gotta see you, you can leave, and then you'll worry about the bill later. No, here they're gonna keep you in that hospital till you pay that bill or whatever your situation is. So I want to give you another clear example, and then I'm gonna show you this video where you can go back and watch it for yourself and understand what things here cost and the way it is done. So let's say you have to have bypass surgery, heart bypass surgery, okay? For those of you that like to pop them Viagra pills, you already on blood pressure medication, you already have all kinds of signs, you can't see, you got stars in your eyes, you got blurry vision, you equilibrium's off because you're taking all these Viagras, right? You come to a country like Colombia, Medellin, you're in the city of Medellin, or you're in the city of Cartagena, or wherever. You've been messing with all these young girls, popping Viagra every 5 minutes. Okay, you mess around and you have a stroke. Now you got to have surgery. Let's say you have to have bypass surgery. How much does that cost in Medellin, Colombia? Okay, so in the U.S., you're probably over $100,000 for the whole procedure. Staying in the hospital, getting care, you're probably at $120,000 to $130,000. In Mexico, you're looking anywhere starting at about $25,000 up to about $35,000 to $40,000, right? In Medellin, Colombia, you're starting out at about $11,500, and it can get all the way up to $20,000. Now, for the people who like to travel, you of age, let's say 45 and up. How many of those people you actually think got health insurance that's traveling like that? How many of those people you actually think got a credit card that got a minimum of $11,000 on it to cover their health insurance, or even have travel insurance when they go to countries like this? I would say very few, especially young people who are believing the fantasy that they can come to these countries. Like someone recently did a video saying that you can live here on $500 US. Okay. Well, you can live on here a lot less than that. But if you get yourself in an accident, let's say you decide one day you're going to ride some ATVs. You go out and you break your leg. Do you have $500 to $2,000 extra after you done paid all them pre-pagos to get your HealthCare fixed, to get your leg fixed? And then the cost for staying even longer that you weren't anticipated, because you're not going to be able to take that flight back right away. Not with that cast on, you're not. See, these are the little things as an adult people need to talk to a lot of these people about, besides just women and cheap places to live. This is part of it as well, because you could come and just get sick, food poisoning. You could come, have an aneurysm. Some of y'all could come, have a heart attack. No one thinks of these things other than showing you half-naked girls and then relying on that to tell you, oh yeah, you can come here and live like a king. Well, what good does that do you if you're dead? None. And then you're popping all these Viagra pills. It's like, come on, dog. Come on, man. Let's get serious about this. If you're going to travel, be serious about traveling. Don't travel on luck. Don't be that dumbass that went to the Dominican Republic talking about a social experiment with $500 and something and then didn't have enough money just for $100 for an exchange fee, a ticket exchange fee to get back to the States. Imagine if that damn fool had got sick. He'd still be there now. This is how a lot of people get trapped in these countries, and you wonder how they become homeless. This is how they become homeless. This is easily how they become homeless. You come with little to no money, and then you think, because these people have told you, oh, it costs nothing to get HealthCare here in Medellin. Sure, it doesn't, if you get it up front. But the problem is, in order to get on EPS, which is the local health insurance, you have to have a visa first. And how do you get a visa? Well, you have to have HealthCare prior as one of the qualifications in order to get the visa. So it's like people don't think. Y'all can get online and cuss each other out all day. Y'all can say this group is wrong, that group is wrong. I don't give a damn. Who I'm talking to are the adults who need to hear you cannot just travel anywhere without thinking and looking at the whole landscape, because there's going to come a time where somebody's going to get really sick. One of these popular YouTubers probably going to get really sick. Then they're going to have to create a GoFundMe page just to get their ass out of the hospital because they ain't got no money. All the talking and all the bragging does you no good when you don't have the money or the insurance to get you help that you need. Now, veterans, when it comes to mental health, there's a lot of you guys in this country who are here 6 months out of the year. There's a lot of you guys who are here illegally. And there's going to come a time where you're going to need help with mental health. Where do you go? Most of you all don't have a clue where you're supposed to go or where you should go. Who could you talk to? You don't even have the 800 number to the VA for helpline in your phone right now because that's not a priority. Drugs, prostitution, and alcohol is your priority right now. The only time that comes up is when it actually happens to you. And by then it's too late. It's too late. But your greatest resource here or in any country outside of the U.S. is the U.S. Embassy. That is your greatest resource. If all else fails and you cannot figure it out on your own, go to your U.S. Embassy, go to the search engine in your U.S. Embassy and type up what you need. You can normally find it there. You can't be lazy. You can normally find it there. Okay? Now, I want to show you guys this video. This is a lady, like I said, that was here in the country last year. This is a couple. I guess they're doing some kind of traveling thing. And this lady has been in and out of the hospital in different countries several times. This is why you need money, and this is why you need health insurance. For all the low costs, people like to tell you all that things are lower. They are lower than the US, but that don't mean you need to travel with nothing. I'm going to skip through a lot of this and show all the different things that she went through. And I want to get to this page so you can see the basic medical costs right here. Now, how many people do you think right now, and this ain't including all the stuff, this is just this portion of it. Okay, there's a lot more than that. But how many people you think walking around right now got a credit card with at least $4,000 on it to cover this? How many people you think got cash in hand right now to cover this, or got health insurance right now to cover this? I can answer that for you, right? None of them, but hardly any. I shouldn't say none. Hardly any of them got that kind of money. Hardly any of them. But they'll travel on luck and listening to people who give them bad advice every day. Now, this is solely for transportation, leaving the hospital, going back home, going to different places like that. Now, could you avoid this cost? Maybe, if you got somebody else to help you. But this is another $265 added onto that $3,600 I just showed you, right? Let's look at some more costs. Now, this is her grand total that she ended up spending for knee replacement surgery here in Medellin, Colombia. Over $9,000. Now, I'm going to tell you what's missing. Because she's married, she had her husband there to help her. Because anyone who has surgery knows you're not going to be able to get up on your own and do a lot of stuff. You're going to need help, right? So I can tell you, as someone who has a caregiver here, what it costs. Now, I don't have a medical caregiver, which is different, which is what you would need if you're a single person in this country and you have this type of surgery. A regular caregiver is going to run you anywhere from either $10 up to about $15 an hour. That's a caregiver here in this country, which is very cheap compared to the US. In the US, you're talking anywhere from $30 to $45 an hour for a non-medical caregiver. Non-medical. For a medical caregiver here in Colombia, you're starting out at about 18 and you can go all the way up to about $30 per hour. I'm going to repeat that. You're going to start out at about 18 and you can go all the way up to about $30 an hour, depending on what kind of specialist you need, medical care that you need from a medical specialist caregiver. Google this, look it up for yourself. I don't have to throw numbers out there. Look it up for yourself. And as somebody who's paying for a caregiver here, that's the range, just so you all know. So let's think about this now. You're coming here by yourself. I think this lady was down for about 3 months. So do the math. Say you got a medical person coming every week, not even 7 days, 5 days a week, let's say for 4 hours a day. And let's split the difference. Let's just say $20 an hour, right? That's $80 a day. That's $320 a week. You're going to do that for a month, right? What is that? $1,280. So let's say $1,300 extra a month. Do you have that to pay on top of everything else? And this is the adult conversation that I'm talking about, man. I'm not on here trying to discourage people from coming. I want people to come and enjoy themselves and understand you need more than the bare minimum to live in these countries, especially when you don't have health insurance, you don't know anybody here, and you don't speak the language. Now it's even harder for you to get help. I'm trying to be upfront and honest with you guys who are asking these questions. You want to come here, you need to know these things. Because when you first move here, you're not going to be able to get the public health insurance. You got to have your own. And you shouldn't, in my opinion, be traveling anywhere without health insurance, travel insurance. Even if you just got to buy it when you get on the plane, buy something. Please do not show up to these countries with nothing. And then we got to see you out there begging online because you have no money to take care of anything. This is a cost for traveling. If you go to any government website, Travel Save, embassy's website, they will tell you up front, you should not be traveling without insurance because you do not know what is going to happen. You have no idea what's going to happen. None. And the embassy is not going to pay it. The only thing the U.S. Embassy is going to do is contact your family or whoever back in the States they need to contact and help you transfer money, not give you money, transfer money from the U.S. to whoever needs to receive it. That is it. That is all over the U.S. Embassy's website. They're not here to pick up the slack for American citizens who are irresponsible when traveling. That is your responsibility when you travel. Never think that the embassy is going to save you for your poor decisions, for you following a YouTuber who is not telling you everything you need to know when traveling abroad. These are facts, ladies and gentlemen. Let me acknowledge who else is on here. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and take him off. You ain't got to worry about that, Mr. B. He gone. What's up, Howard? How you doing today, man? What's up, Mr. B? Talking to Howard, Barry. Guys talking to each other. Mr. G, what's going on? How you doing? Oh, he's gone. He's gone. You don't have to worry about that. Now, are there any questions, guys, before I get off? Okay. And I want to repeat what I said earlier. If you suffer from mental health, okay, and you're in this country, hopefully you have someone you can confide in here to try to help navigate you through whatever it is you're going through. If you don't, I would strongly suggest you put the VA's 800 number, a hotline number for mental health in your phone, and you're able to call that number. Because if you got to go into a mental health facility, let's say it's after hours, you're having a breakdown, you need to go into another mental health facility. Okay. Most people don't have a clue how to even do that here. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people who are here who do not speak the language. So think about how much of an enigma that's going to be, where you need to have mental health, you need to get help, mental health, right? You call the emergency 123. When you call the number, they're speaking Spanish. You don't speak any Spanish. So what are you going to do? Hold your phone. You got two different phones. Hold one phone to the translator and then try to repeat and go back and forth that way. Or when you get to the clinic, depending on the type of clinic that you go to, there may be no one there that speaks English. Now what? You're trying to explain, and the Google Translator, it works, but it's not perfect. It makes mistakes. Some of the things that or well, someone who speaks the language, and I'm not fluent, and I'll look at it sometimes like, that's not what I said. And no, it's not correct. So these are things, man, you got to be honest about and understand when you're in these countries, what the rules are, speaking to people, how to get help, how much is it going to cost, how do I get health insurance? Do I need? Yes, you should have health insurance regardless of where you're going. Who else we got here? What's going on, Mr. Miles? Okay, the troll killer's here from the LBC. Oh, no, he ain't on here no more. I just made sure he's off. Let's see. Can you smoke in Colombia? Now, I don't do that, Mr. Lawson. I know several people here that do. I can only tell you what was explained to me. I don't know the laws, okay? What was explained to me, okay? Because I know several here that do, several locals. Expats, I don't mess with them, so I can't tell you about an expat. But from my understanding here, from the locals, this is from a local perspective, legally, if you have a very small amount, yes, you can. There are people in this building that blaze 24/7. There's sometimes when you walk up to the door, it's like they standing right next to you. Okay, so obviously, it's not that big of a deal here, as long as you're dealing in very small quantities, from my understanding. That's from my understanding. Somebody else who's here or familiar with it here could probably explain it to you a little bit better. I'm not someone that partakes in that, so that's as far as I know, sir. Yep, that's as far as I know legally. It's all good, man. It's all good. Now, are there any other questions when it comes to this, man? This is like common sense to me, right? I've never gone to any of these countries without at least having travel insurance, right? And the airlines usually offer it to you, especially when you're buying a round trip ticket. They normally offer it to you. What is it? Like an extra $25, $30, right? Or depends on the distance that you're going. Like if you're going, like I remember going from Phoenix to the Philippines, I want to say that was like $80. It might have been $100. Might have been $100 some dollars. Whatever it was, it didn't matter. Going that far, you're going to need health insurance. So why take the chance? Now, I will say this though. Not saying that you don't need it in the Dominican Republic, but because of the proximity from the DR to Puerto Rico, now in that situation, you need help right away. Airlines are so close, you're not even 45 minutes away going from the DR to Puerto Rico. You might, keyword, be able to get away with it. Might be able to get away with it. But here in Colombia, nah, dog, you ain't getting away with that. You're not going to get away with it. Even if you're service connected, okay? Even if you're service connected, you're going to have to pay So say you have a heart condition, you have to have bypass surgery. The VA is going to cover it. Say they're going to cover the whole 11, 12, $15,000. Cool. But the VA ain't paying it up front. You got to pay it up front and then get reimbursed. That's how that works. There is no saving grace. They're not going to call and give them a credit card. They're not going to call and give them a PO number. No. No purchase order number. No, none of that. You got to be the one to pay. That's how that works. All right. Now, are there any other questions, guys, when it comes to this? Because I want people to understand that, man, that this is part of living abroad. This is part of traveling. It ain't tricking. Okay. It ain't, well, I'm going to get a bunch of donations and try. No, these are things you need to know. You need to know this. Is it cheaper than America? Yeah, it's probably going to be a quarter of the price in America. Unfortunately, there's a ton of people here that don't even have a fifth of the price. Talking about a quarter. I guarantee you, bro, if they were to go around and do a survey and ask expats here, would they have money to cover something, some kind of emergency? If they had to leave right now today to go back to the States, how many of them got the money to do it? The closer we get to the end of the month, the less these people got. Real talk. There are some people at home right now, flat broke. Ain't got two nickels rubbed together right now. And the day is the what? 18, 19? What is today? 19. Flat broke. Flat broke. That is just reality. Unfortunate reality of the situation with some people. Now, once again, are there any other comments? If not, I'm going to leave it right there. But I want to give people an idea of cost. So I want to run through this again real quick, give you a general idea. If you have a broken leg or a broken arm here, you're looking, depending on where you are, anywhere from $500 to $2,000 if you don't need surgery. That's going to depend on your location. If you have knee replacement here, you got to have knee replacement surgery here. You're looking anywhere starting $85,000, I would say probably up to $12,000, $13,000 for knee replacement surgery here. Also depending on the exchange rate. If you got to have open heart bypass surgery, you're looking anywhere between $11,500 to start out, $11,500 up to about $20,000, $18,000, $20,000, somewhere in there. Okay. Depends on if you need more specialists. And all of this, guys, you also got to take in mind, this is not including where you're already staying. That's separate. Like if you're renting an Airbnb, and let's say that Airbnb costs you $900 a month. I have no idea how long it takes to recover from open heart surgery. What, 3 months, 6 months? Well, that's how much longer you're paying for that Airbnb while you're there. Those are all costs you're going to incur. This is all things you need to think about when you're getting ready to go abroad. What is it going to cost me? Because the numbers I'm giving are just for the surgery. That ain't including nothing else. Your food, where you're living, and then the help you're going to need if you're traveling alone. You're traveling alone. You don't have a partner with you. You don't have somebody that can stay with you and help you. These are costs you're going to incur. Let's see. I'm late. As soon as I saw the title, I joined in. You always make videos on topics I'm eager to learn about. Yeah, I'm just trying to put it out there, man, and give some of these young people something to think about. One other thing I want to mention before I get off today. Young people out there that want to travel, you have little income coming from YouTube, or you got little income coming from a teaching gig or whatever kind of gig you're doing, right? Let's say you're averaging $1,200 a month. I want you to think for a second, because some of the people that you're taking advice from are already people who are retired. They worked there 40 years, 35 years, and they're retired. Some of these people are even receiving Social Security. As a young 23, 25-year-old, you're making money online. You're $1,200, $1,300 a month. You're not paying into the federal tax system. You get injured or something happens to you abroad, and you can no longer collect that $1,200, $1,300 a month. How you going to survive? Especially with no health insurance. How you going to survive? Most of the time in those situations, you have to do what? Go back to the States. Well, if you go back to the States and you have to go on disability, how much money you think you're going to get per month when you only made $1,200, $1,300 a month? You think you're going to get a check from the government for $1,200 to $1,300 a month to replace what you were getting? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. See, these are things, again, man, that these YouTubers who are telling people, go get your passport, travel, go see the world. Got no problem with that, man. But be responsible when you tell these people this. Tell them the whole picture. Don't just paint this fantasy where you got young men who are basically going to screw themselves as they get older. They're going to have nothing in back up in the States, and they cannot leave once they get on SSI. Where are they going? You can't leave for no more than 30 days out of a calendar year. Only get $900 for the rest of your life. Then what? You stuck. You wasted your entire career listening to someone abroad tell you something when their life is already set and yours is just starting. So while our dollar goes much further in these countries, think beyond right now. Think 10 years from now, 20 years from now. What kind of future are you going to have only making the minimum? And you're working in these countries making the minimum. Now that you get older, your health is failing, right? You can't do what you do online anymore. Now what? Nobody never talks about these things to these people, which is how they end up in these bad predicaments, stuck somewhere they don't want to be. How about this? How about working a job, figuring out a retirement plan, and then retire early? That way you don't have to worry about money, and you can go live wherever the hell you want for as long as you want without having these issues. But some of you guys are in such a rush because these people are telling you things that are just not true, or they're leaving out a whole lot of details when it comes to this. That JM guy here again, he was just kicked off another person's video just yet. Yeah, I just kicked him back out there. He should be banned now for good. What's the cost of a Brazilian lift? That I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Now, I will say this. I did look up cosmetic surgery. Cosmetic surgery here compared to the US is probably going to be like a quarter the cost. You're probably talking anywhere starting at $3,000 and then going up to probably $10,000. Depends on what it is, right? I did look that part up. Speaking of health, do you ever see or meet women traveling abroad for surgery? If so, what is your opinion on? I don't have, people, their body. There's a spot right down the street from where I am, right across the street from Santa Fe Mall, where there's a tons of people who come get cosmetic surgery right there. Right there. You see women coming in and out. Usually it's European women coming in and out of there all day long. All day long. It's right across from Santa Fe Mall. On the back side of the mall where the ATMs are, if you're going up the hill, you look to the left, there's a building right there. That's all they do all day is cosmetic surgery. I really don't have an opinion on it. It's their body. They buying, butt lifts or lips or changing their eyes or getting abs, whatever. It's their body. More power to them. They can afford to do it. More power to them. But, yeah, they do it here all the time. All the time. Now, when I was out yesterday, we were out for about 6 hours yesterday. And I did that short on my Life's channel. I didn't see but 2 tourists. They were both European women. One was walking, and there was one in the mall. Normally on the streets this time of the year, especially during tax season, you usually see a ton of people out here walking around, tourists walking around here because it's tax season. People have got their income tax. Yesterday, nobody was out. Nobody. And it was a nice day, 78 degrees, sun's out. But, it is what it is. So I don't know what's happening as far as tourism, unless, they in areas I just don't frequent, like Parque Ayeres or down on El Centro. I got no reason to be down in those areas. But as far as like here in Poblado, normally both sides of the street usually have a lot of tourists walking back and forth. Nothing but locals. Nothing but locals. So I don't know what's going on this time of the year. You don't have to do everything perfect. Just a good investments can save you money in the future. Problem is most people don't even think about 5 to 10 years in the future. No, it's one of those things, man, where when you're young, you're impatient, right? You want things to happen right now. Someone shows you something, it's obtainable for a little, but they leave out so much, and young people don't really think they ever gonna get sick. You've been young, you take risks, right? You take risks with a lot of things because you think you're invincible when you're young. You think you're invincible when you're young. You never think anything is ever going to happen to you. You never think that. But there are situations where things do happen, and unfortunately, family has to do a car wash or a fish fry to try to raise money to help get somebody back home because they got nothing, no insurance, no nothing. And the farther away they are, the more it costs. Tax season was garbage this year. That's why you don't see a crowd. Okay. I guess all that PPP money and all that other money that they scam from the government is gone. Delayed gentrification beats instant gratification any day. Yeah. And that's the thing, man. It's like nobody talks to tell me a video or show me a video where someone actually talks to these people seriously about living abroad. Because I can tell you, man, as someone who's been living abroad for a while, it ain't all roses. People who are living abroad right now will tell you it is not all roses. When you first start traveling abroad and you don't know anyone, you're going to spend a lot of time alone. And depending on how much money you have, you're going to be spending a lot of time alone at home in your Airbnb or your hostel or whatever it is you're renting. You're going to be alone. You're not going to know anyone. You're not going to know where you are. You're relying on people. And especially when you're in a country where you don't even speak the language, that is not fun. It is not fun in the beginning at all. Let's see, my brother Marco, I have a question for you. If I want and think I deserve SMCL, should I request it from the VA or how do I qualify for it? So I have several videos on aid and attendance. I refer you to go look at one of those where I did a specific video about qualifying for aid and attendance. So if you want or think you deserve, the first thing you need to figure out is, do you qualify? Do you need someone to help you in your daily life with basic life needs? Put it that way. So, do you need someone to help you from the time you get up to the time you go to bed at night with just basic quality of life? That's it. Do you need help? That's the number one thing. And then, do you at least have a qualifying? No, I'm thinking about aid and attendance. I'm thinking about the caregiver program. But that's the number one thing to start with. Do you need someone to help you in your daily life? Number one. If you can't answer that, then yeah, there ain't no point of applying. If you're like, well, I need somebody to cook and clean, yeah, you're wasting your time. That's not what it is. Think medical wise. Whenever you're talking about aid and attendance, always think medical. Never think basic. Basic is clean the house, cook, put out my medications, iron my clothes, wash my clothes. That's not medical. That's a care. That's a housekeeper. That's a maid. No, his video helped me get SMCL. Okay, glad to hear that, sir. Congratulations to you on that. Let's see. It took me a while to realize just how many of these YouTubers are full of you know what. Again, I'm not trying to hate on people. I'm really not. I'm trying to help people understand when they go abroad, this is part of it. Telling people that you can live in these countries on nothing, and people actually try it. You got people who live here on Social Security, and their Social Security is only like $1,000 a month. Well, on $1,000 a month, what do you think you can do? Unless you're living like a local. Now, if you want to come here and throw everything you know from America out the window, and you are lucky enough to move into an apartment at the rate a local pays, then okay, hey, if you can get health insurance through Shura, SURA, which is how you get EPS, one of the ways to get EPS, then hey, okay, cool, got it. But I don't know people coming from the States that's willing to live a local lifestyle, because that's a hell of a change from what you're accustomed to in the U.S. Even if you're coming from the hood in the U.S., living local here is a whole different deal. That is totally different than anything you ever seen in the U.S. And in the areas, so y'all be talking about, where Philly bad, this area is bad. Okay, you got hoods. Dog, show me in the U.S. where they got barrios where the whole community has built their houses from sticks. Where is that located? Where in the U.S., in these cities, in these areas, do you find an entire neighborhood where these people are just squatting on the land and they just build their own house? Where is that in America? Where in America, when you go into a barrio, there's a prison dead center of the barrio? Where is that at in America? Somebody help me out. Please tell me a location. There is a prison in the middle of the neighborhood. Where is that at? Point that out to me. Where in Chicago? Where in Philadelphia? Where in Atlanta? Where these places, these people talking about their hood, where do you find that at? A prison in the middle of the barrio. Tell me a situation where the power line is below 6 feet. You walking around at power line right here in America. Where is that at? What neighborhood is that located in? Where a lot of the buildings that you go to in these barrios, and as far as U.S. standard, would be condemned. That's where these people live. No guardrails on the stairs that go straight down. There is no ramp for wheelchairs. Where are all these places located? Where are these places located in America? Since y'all think y'all hoods are equal to the hoods in these countries, y'all got to show me and tell me where these places are located. They got a prison in the barrio in Colombia. Bro, where were we? Robledo. Not the Robledo I normally show you guys. There's a part of Robledo. You're going up. You're going around the backside to some apartments in the hood. Right here on the corner is a prison. Not one, two. One for men, one for women. Prison right there. Where is that in America? I'm telling you, man, there are so many differences between here and America. It ain't even close. So anytime when these people tell me, well, I'm from the hood, you ain't from this hood. You don't know the history of this place. None of it. Bro, I've been in situations, we're going to meet one of my friends. There's a little corner store in the barrio. I'm like, all right, hey, I'm going to go over here, get some water. You want something? Before I can open the door, no, you can't go in there. You get out the car, they're going to rob you. And I'm going, what? You can't go in there. Wait till she comes out, and then y'all go in there together. That's how bad. And this is during the day. This is how bad it is. And you think you're gonna do what in these areas when you ain't even got a fingernail file? What are you gonna do? No, dog. But I thought it was a paradise. Okay. I don't want to talk down of where I am because it can be a paradise. It can be. It all depends on the individual and what the individual is looking for here. I'll put it that way. Because when it comes to safety, and people always, oh, you got to be safe. Colombia is dangerous. This area is dangerous. As I've said before, the only people who complain about danger are the people who are here tricking. That's it. Nobody else. Whenever I come on here and say, oh, yeah, man, I couldn't even walk down the street. They're going to rob me. Dude, I'm out with my phones, and I carry 2 every single day. To me, it's no, because it all depends on what you're doing. You go in certain areas here where all that activity goes on, you should expect to be robbed because you're around criminals. Criminals know what your dumb ass coming to do. How are you surprised about being robbed in Parque Aires when everybody knows you got a pocket full of money? You're going down there to try to pick up some young girl. You expect to be robbed. You a dummy if you come to these countries going into those areas not expecting to be robbed. You stupid. I'm just going to be honest. You stupid if you around criminals and you expect not to be robbed. You a dumbass. That's just plain and simple. Who in this country doesn't know when you go to the clock tower in Cartagena, and I ain't never been to Cartagena, never stepped foot in it. Know plenty of people that are gone. What's the first thing they tell you? Oh man, you got to keep your hands in your pocket. I've never gone somewhere and been like, oh yeah, I got to keep my hands on my stuff because I'm not in those areas. I'm not in those areas. I'm not going, dude, I've yet to get in a taxi here other than the first time I came here. And the guy asked me, hey, you looking for girls or you looking for drugs? I get into a taxi now and they hear me speaking. They go, oh, where you going? ¿Y dónde vamos? Where you going? But when y'all come from the States and the first place y'all go is areas for tricking, what do you think is supposed to happen? You on El Centro looking at women with no teeth, and then you think what? These are the nicest Christian women out here? That's not what they're down there for. I got sure health insurance for my family here in Panama, but my disabilities is so bad that they decline me for coverage. So you're right again. It's not easy. No, Mr. Brown, look, I got denied. Mr. Brown, I got denied the first time. I was denied. And the only reason I got it now is because I'm on my friend's family plan. That's honest to God's truth. That's the only reason I got health insurance here. That's the only reason I got it. Dude, my legs and my overall health, they would not approve me. And along with my weight, they wouldn't approve me. That wasn't going to happen. And I'm trying to be honest with you guys, man, and tell you all the truth. There are so many people here who are living illegally. They should have left years ago. And when something does happen and they got to leave, boy, they're going to have a hell of a bill when they go to that airport. They might as well get ready because the rules change. You know, you looking, especially now with the rate going down, you probably over $300 a month for overstay. So imagine somebody that's overstayed here a year. They ain't got that kind of money. They're going to let them leave, but coming back, you ain't coming back in until you pay all that off. You got to pay it off. But again, I'm not trying to discourage anyone, man. Just use this when you hear. That's all I'm saying. Not downstairs. Use this. Use this right here. Because it sounds fun. Guys are showing y'all all these girls. People are partying. But how many of them have you seen that get on here and tell you they've been robbed? They can't get their stuff back. The police are in no rush to investigate this. An investigation takes anywhere from 8 months to a year before they even get started after the robbery occurred. The Vietnamese guy, you know how his case got solved so quickly? They hired a private firm. The police didn't solve that. They hired people to do that. That's what y'all don't get. Y'all come here, girl, in any of these countries, And y'all think America, oh, I got robbed. Let me go get a police report. They're going to start the investigation so I can get my stuff back. This is Colombia. It doesn't work like that here. That is a dream. That is a fantasy. The guy that said you can live off $500 in Colombia, do you know the neighborhood? Bro, let's pull it up. Matter of fact, I ain't got a problem pulling it up. I want to show y'all what he's talking about. Because y'all need to understand. And this ain't dissing him or trying to, but I want to use his examples to show you all where he's telling you to rent a room. Okay, I need y'all to understand the difference. Where he's talking about, right? That's renting a room, not even the whole place, for like $200 and some, right? That same apartment, the entire apartment is about $120 a month. But a room is going to cost you about $240 to $280. And like I said, dude, you can live here on any amount. Oh, you know what? I can't even put it up on here because I'm sorry. All that stuff's been blocked. Like certain channels on my iPad, I'm sorry, my computer, not my iPad. I can't even pull up. Anything that talks about sex tourism at all, their channel will not come up on my computer at all. None of it. So I can't even show you. I can see if I can pull it up on my phone though. I can't even show you at all. But yes, there are barrios, bro, where Estrados Numero is like 1 or 2. Okay, they're not in good areas. No, they're not in good areas. You need to speak the language because, again, live like a local. When you live like a local, that means you're buying off the street. You're not going to no restaurants, nowhere. Everything is mom and pop. The fruit guys on the street, the vendors on the street, all your clothes, they're coming from like some of the worst areas of town. Yeah, and you got to watch your back. You can't have nothing in those types of areas, bro. Nothing. Don't even think about bringing no new shoes or new clothes at all. No. You need to look poor as hell when you go over there, basically. Okay, that's just the truth. You know, those are the parts that he leaves out, like meals and stuff, right? What do you think you having when it comes to meals? You're going somewhere where you got rice, beans, a arepa, and a block of cheese. That's it, and you may pay $3 for that, $2 for that, $3. That's it. You're not going anywhere else other than that. You're not doing anything other than that. That's it. Period. Point blank. And again, that Airbnb tripped me out because Erica lives in Manrique. Erica's rent, I want y'all to hear me. Erica's rent for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath apartment in Manrique is about $130. With utilities, total, everything is about $160 a month. This man was telling y'all to rent a room, not the entire one room for $240 to $280. So essentially, you're paying for 2 houses or 2 apartments for that one room. For a real estate video, does it have to be a certain amount or just any investment, even if it's land? It's got to be a certain amount. You got to spend, I think it's 95. No, it might have been up by now. I got to go back and look at that video, but it's a certain amount in order to get the investment visa. It's a certain amount. But even if you get the investment visa, understand, you're going to start out with a migrant visa. You still got to keep that visa for 5 years before you can apply for residency. So that residency visa that was instant is gone. That's no longer. You still got to get what I got, which is the migrant visa. You still got to hold that for 5 years, and then you can apply for residency. I've never seen on YouTubers speak on overstaying their visa because of the new rules. Now, they used to tell people, and I want to explain, I'm glad you mentioned, I want to explain something because someone asked me, well, how are you over 180 days if you stay between July and December? Well, that's simple. How many months have 31 days in it? July, August, October, and December, right? If you stay from half the year, July, all the way to December, you're 184 days. You're 1 day over, which makes you what? A tax resident. This is what they don't tell y'all, man. Like I said, dude, I try to be honest and I try to explain things so people get it. When you go over 183 days here, you are considered a tax resident. You're supposed to file taxes. Count the number of days from July 1st through December 31st. Tell me how many days that are. That is. That's 184 days. Simple math. I was thinking the same thing. The prices sound way too high for a room. What grown man wants a room unless maybe if you're in Tokyo or New York City? Hey, that's the way some people choose to live here. There are people here in hostels. There's people here in co-working space. There's people doing the shared room thing. There's people here doing couch surfing. You got all kinds. All kinds. Now they're doing the capsules. I put this out earlier. Matter of fact, I'll show you guys on here. I put this out earlier and I asked people, would you pay $65 to live in one of these damn things here? Because it's in Japan, but they brought it here to Colombia. See if I can pull these images up real quick. They brought it here to Colombia. So these are capsules, okay? And actually, it's pretty smart. You have these people staying in areas that look like a damn item on a shelf. You maximize the space because all this is a bed. That's all this is a bed. Your ass is in a containment with a bed. And you got all that room you maximize. And then you charge them anywhere from $50 to $75 a night. You still got to share the same bathroom. You still got to share the same common place. The only thing you get private, and it ain't even private, is this one little room right here. I said, damn, dog. But hey, you like it? I love it. I'll put it that way. Let's see, how long is a migrant visa good for? If you qualify for the max, 3 years. So you're going to have to do it at least twice in order to get that 5 years. So now there are some people who only get it for a year. I've been lucky in both situations. I've gotten mine both times 3 years. I have less than a year now. I can apply for residency the beginning of 2024. But normally 3 years, unless they find something and they only give you a year. What's up, Mr. Wayne? How you doing? To each his own, but for me, nothing than having a decent place of my own, better than a luxury car or designer clothes. Yeah. You know, that's, hey, hey, you get no dispute from me, but, you know, people's priorities when they come here are different. People choose drugs and women over a place to stay. Anytime I hear somebody says, oh, man, you can find you a nice Airbnb in Buenos Aires, and I'm thinking, Buenos Aires. And then you think about where it is and what's around there. No, dog. And then what you paying. That's what gets me. Like Airbnb in that area is like $400 to $500. Y'all know in Poblado, I only pay, well, now I'm paying over $7 because the rate went down. But before the rate went down, I was only paying like $650 for where I live at here in Poblado in the Golden Mile. Now that's a rarity because a local got this place for me, and I explained that before, but I'm thinking, damn, dog, you in one of the worst areas in town, and you bragging about paying $450 while everybody else ain't even paying $100. It's unbelievable. Almost I also almost never seen a YouTuber speak on homeless Americans abroad. There's a ton of them here. Real talk. Last check, um, this was around Christmas when they did that special in the news. There was about 55 homeless Americans in the homeless shelters here. That's not counting the ones that are on the street. Okay. But in the homeless shelter, that's just in Medellin. That's not the whole country. That's just in Medellin. Just in Medellin alone, they had 55 Americans registered homeless in the city. And that, again, that's not counting all the people on the streets. I showed you guys in a short on my veterans channel where Americans, homeless Americans, had made a kitchen of their own, made their own kitchen out in a park. The way this economy is going, next Great Recession, Depression, we are in Fed said rate will be raised again in May. The banks are shaky. The homeless rate is shooting up. Could be the new norm here coming. Could be. As well as the dollar, man. You see these countries are getting together. And I don't know if it's ever going to happen with the dollar. But you always got to think, man, and take advantage of a situation if you can. Stack your money. That's the best thing I can tell people, man. Stack your money if you can. If you could save $100 extra a month, $200-$300, cut out, you don't really have these subscription programs you're using, cut them out and save that money, just like you were still spending it, but you're saving it. Instead of drinking 3 6-packs every week, drink 2 or drink 1 and save that money. But you need to start saving, man, because the future, you don't know what's going to happen. That's like with me. I try to keep a credit card on hand no matter what. If I got to get the hell out of here, I'm out. I ain't got to call nobody for nothing. If I got to stay in a hotel somewhere in another part of the world for 30 days, I'm good. I'm good. I already got a plan B of what I'm going to do if I got to leave here. If I got to go to another part of the country to get the hell out of here, I already figured it out. You always got to make plans, man, when you're not even in your home country. You got nobody down the street that's going to help you. Especially depends on the people that you're around, right? If you're around nothing but the people who really don't have a lot, then you can't expect them to help you in time of need. When your rent $600 and they used to paying $100, they ain't gonna have that kind of money to help you. It's just facts. So I always try to diversify who I know here on all levels. I know people here on all levels. There was a YouTuber. He said he paid around $250 for a 3-bedroom in San Cristobal. Would beat paying $250 for a share room. Man, you don't want to go stay in San Cristobal. No, dog. No, dog. No. You don't want to go stay there. You got to also understand, bro. Some of these places are priced the way they are for a reason. Okay? Not everything sounds as good as people make it out to be. San Cristobal is not somewhere. No. I mean, well, I don't know where it came from in the States. For me, here, San Cristobal, Santo Domingo here, San Javier, Robledo, Manrique, anywhere close to El Centro. Now, hell no. I'm going back to the States, or I'm going somewhere else. San Cristobal? No, dog. No. It made it sound like a great area. Oh no. Yeah. Where were they? Are they here or are they in another country? You gotta understand. You gotta understand where they are, though, dog, because anybody can make anything sound good. Where are they? You know what I'm saying? Let me show you what San Cristobal looks like. How old is this video? This video is a year old. See if I can pull it up, man. Yeah. Hey, don't let just cause they make it sound good. Wait, is this the right one? No, this is Manrique. Hold up. Let me see if I can find one real quick of San Cristobal. If you're talking about here in Medellin, San Cristobal, I'm assuming that's what you're saying. This is a drone. That's 2 years ago, 7 years ago. No, that's 11 years ago. I'll be fair about it. This is 11 months ago. Man, there really are no good videos to show you what San Cristobal looks like. All right, here's one where they're kind of showing it. Let's see if I can pull this up. Oops, what did I just do? Hold up. All right, so we blow this up. This one's a couple of years old, but this is San Cristobal in Medellin. Now, I don't know if you're talking about the DR, Venezuela, because San Cristobal is all over Latin America. But this is what it looks like here. Let's see if I can give you some different angles. Or is this the only one he's showing? But you got to understand, dude, $250, that's more than what most people are paying there. I guarantee you most people are paying less than $120 to live there, even in a 3-bedroom. Some are paying less than $100 to be in San Cristobal. You're not talking like, I don't know what people's impressions are or what they're looking for or anything like that. I don't know where you're looking to live. You're looking to live in a pueblo, you're looking to live in the city, you're looking to live around everything, or you just looking to live, you're just trying to be here. I don't know, but everybody's definition of what they're looking for and what they like is different. Like he could be in San Cristobal, out in the campo, out in the trees, out in the sticks. Like you got to have a motorcycle take you back there, or you walking all the way back there. I don't know. It's different for everybody. I noticed the sidewalks in the road. Yeah, they look bad. Then the rest of the city bad. If it's bad, then the rest of it's bad. I'm not, dude, like I said earlier, I have no idea what a lot of people are looking for. What may be something I wouldn't look at, someone else may go, oh man, this is perfect. I would love to be here. It's different. It's different for everybody. I have a certain standard that I want to live the way I want to live, right? Someone else could see it and go like, no, dog, that don't fit me. I want to go somewhere where it's rougher, where it's, more authentic, more instead of having the more up-to-date modern look, you want to go back to a time where this is where you want to be. You want to feel like you part of the culture there in that particular area instead of the culture here, which, because the way I look at Colombia is like this, right? You have the more modern Colombians, like where I live, and then you have the more traditional Colombians, just depends on the area that you pick. And then you have, the people who are struggling, those areas. San Cristobal, is an area that a lot of people don't really have a lot. So you can't expect, just because they give y'all a number and they show you their place, and their place may be laid out on the inside because they went and bought a brand new flat screen, or they bought some furniture from the malls and had it delivered. And then they telling you, oh, you can have all this. But then when you step outside and when it rains and their whole front yard or the whole front area where they live is flooded out, is that price for a reason. He had a video where the neighborhood, where his neighbor was beating on a girl. Oh yeah, you already know. Now, here's another way to tell a big difference. Okay, in the barrios, you can get away with a lot. For example, you ain't got a motorcycle helmet on. You see a bunch of people riding. They got no motorcycle helmet on. 4 or 5 people. They got a baby sitting down in the middle of the scooter. No kind of straps or nothing on. You in the barrio. Okay? There, you get away with a whole lot. You take those same people and take them here to El Poblado. Hell no. You will never see somebody on the streets here without a helmet on. Ain't happening. You will never see a child on the back of a motorcycle here. Ain't happening. Or a child on a crater in the middle of a scooter. Ain't happening here. No, sir. But in the barrios, yes. That lets you know. Now, say that same situation happens here. Say outside, there's a guy out there beating on a woman. She's screaming in the middle of the day. Oh, hell no. He won't last hitting that woman 5 minutes. He going straight to jail. But in the barrios, it's different. It's a different world. Here and there, 2 different places. Okay, that's in the DR. Still, same situation. San Cristobal in the DR? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Is it true that they want your VA info on your rating for retirement visa? Yes. And they're going to get it because they're going to go through the embassy. And the embassy is going to verify who you are. So they're going to know. San Cristobal, DR. Okay. So, yeah, same situation. Because all throughout Latin America, all these places pretty much the cities all pretty much got the same name. Oops. So San Cristobal. Oops. Bingo. Pretty much the same thing, dude. Now, there is a little bit more modern, if I'm not mistaken. If I remember it right, I'll pull it up real quick. Let's see, a year. That was a day ago. It's a day ago. All right, so I don't know who this guy is. I've heard somebody mention his name before. Philly Don, whoever that is. But I'm going to show you one he's got here that he calls, what is this? Real Streets, San Cristobal. Right here, right? So he's calling this the real streets of San Cristobal. Now, I know there's parts that are much better than this, but this is like a section, just like it is in any other city. Let's see if he shows you anything else. Yeah, he does get into the city. So you see this part, right? This is like shopping, fruits. They have clothes out there, so on and so forth. All right, so let's get out of that section. But this is the city, San Cristobal. Now, some people see this. All right, cool. They can work with it. They love it. I ain't even lie. Hell no, I ain't staying there. I ain't even lie to you. No. But some people see it. Cool. You know, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Boca Chica, to be quite honest with you. Walking down that right there, that looks like Boca Chica. Some parts of Boca Chica. It could be some parts of Santo Domingo in the tourist zone. Sort of looks like that. It just is. It is what it is. But I would say before you guys, just based upon information you get off YouTube telling you, oh, this is a great place to live, you go look for yourself. You go check for yourself. Don't take anybody's word for it, because what they see and what they explain may not be what you see when you get there. It could be something completely different than what you are expecting. But just do what I just did there, dude. Is just pull it up online, see for yourself, see if there's somewhere you like to be, the area you like. Try to find out as much as you can, doing some research about the area, and go from there. That's the best thing I can tell y'all, man. And then go check it out for yourself. Rent you an Airbnb or rent you a hotel in the area. Check it out. If it fits what you like, cool. Try to find you a place there and move in. A trick, I won't really call it a trick, but a thing that you can do if you're serious about staying somewhere is stay at an Airbnb, like a month, and then talk to the host and let them know you want to stay longer without Airbnb's cost, right? Because the price is much higher because you're using Airbnb. Airbnb is charging them a fee, and then they might be charging you a deposit on top of that, plus a bunch of other stuff. So if you like the place you're in, talk to the host or the owner and let them know, hey man, I want to stay here another 3 months directly through you instead of going through Airbnb. He gonna be happy because he ain't got to pay Airbnb no fee. You paying them directly. They ain't never gonna turn that down. I mean, that's what I used to do, and that's how I ended up having a lot of these places that I can go and different places that I've been, because I kept up with the owners. Now, unless the owner sells the place, right? You can always contact them. When's the next time it's going to be available? Cool. Let me rent this, send them a deposit. You good to go. There's an active shooter at SAC right now on base. What is this? Awful Air Force Base, Bellevue, Nebraska. I think that's New England. What? An active shooter? That is crazy. So San Cristobal is like Martin Luther King Boulevard of South America. I don't know what it is in other countries, but I've been there in the DR and I've been to it here. No, that's not somewhere I would hang out. But hey, like I said, everybody's different. Appreciate that information, Mr. Wayne. There's a website that helps with visa application. The Colombian government want to see. We've been getting treatment from the VA, and that can cause them to deny you visa. Want to see if you've been getting treatment at the VA, bro. Mr. G, I'm gonna explain this again. When you put your application in, if you're using a lawyer or not using a lawyer, one of the first things that's going to be explained to you on the government website, the very first thing you have to do is make an appointment with the U.S. Embassy. The U.S. Embassy has to verify who you are, your information. Basically means they're going to say, okay, who is this person? What is their social? Where do they live? So on and so forth. Then they're going to let them know you're a veteran. This is one of the things they want to know. So there's no way to get around it. There's no way. Once they find out you're a veteran, then they go on to see what are your ratings, if you have any, because not every veteran has a rating. What are your ratings? You got a mental health rating that is at least 60%. Well, there is no 60, but 60% or higher. That's what they're basing it off of. The chances of you getting a visa at that point, very low. Very low. That's the rule. That is the rule. So whether you're getting treatment right now at the VA or you've gotten treatment in the past, what are your ratings? You got a high mental health rating, that's going to be an issue. You got stuff on your background, that's going to be an issue. I'm just telling you the way it is, because some people seem to only be thinking, okay, well, I got the money. Money don't mean nothing if you don't qualify for the other things. You can be getting $20,000 a month. Your background jacked up. They don't want you here. You got a high mental health rating, chances are they don't want you here for that either. Let me keep my thoughts to myself. I don't like 90% of the YouTubers. Hey, it is what it is, man. Those guys got a lot of people watching them based upon the thumbnails that they put out. And that's cool. I ain't mad at people for hustling, okay? My only problem that I have with them pervert channels, and my only problem has ever been the promoting of sex tourism. I just, because it makes us look a certain way. Now, the argument some people will have is they're quick to go, well, the white dudes do it. Okay, when have we ever been equal to what other races do? Name me a time that we've been equal. We're not. We've been, look, we've been the butt of jokes around the world for a long time based upon what America puts out about us all the time. All the time. You look at the local news here, anything that happens in Florida is one of us. Rarely do you see it's someone else. It's one of us. So I don't understand why these people seem to think that they can do everything all these other races do. That's just not true. It's not true. And then when it comes to, and I've been to the Philippines, bro. I don't know, and I don't get there. I've never been to Thailand. I've been to the Philippines. Okay. Are there Filipino women who like African-American men? Yes. But if you did a poll and you had 10 girls there, maybe 1 or 2 out of 10 would say yes. That's the truth. That is the truth. Anybody who's been to the Philippines, that is the truth. They have whitening cream in that country for a reason. Okay? Look, and even here, dog, I'm just going to tell y'all the truth about here. If you you get Colombian girl, average Colombian girl, and you ask them that question, who you think they're going to choose? Who you think they're going to choose? Same way in the Dominican Republic. Ask them who they're going to choose. What do they prefer? What do their family prefer? That's just the truth, man. I don't get why. Well, I get why. Because it gets views. It's easier to make a fantasy sound really good than it is to tell people the truth. Something that people actually need to hear. The truth of the matter is, the next time y'all travel, don't make it about you. Just ask them in general. When you see a group of Colombians, see a group of Dominicans, ask them in general. Just ask them in general. I'm not saying to be all upset with the answer that they give you or feel like, well, man, why am I even? No, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is, man, know the truth about where you're going. Are there going to be people that like you because you're African? Sure. Sure. There are going to be people curious about you. There are going to be people that want to know a lot of things and they've seen a lot of things and heard a lot of things. You got some that even want to touch your hair because your hair is so much different. That's just facts. But never get it twisted that you are the most desired person in these countries. No, you're not. No, you are not. Your money is desired. But if you think you are desired here more than anybody, that this is a paradise for you because you're African American, that is one of the biggest lies that have been perpetrated throughout this entire YouTube experience. That is a lie. The only reason they're talking to you in a lot of cases is because you're from America. If you show up to these countries with nothing, or you show up to a restaurant or a bar because somebody told you one of the most desired people in the world, okay, if you're that desired, you should have no problem finding somebody to help you, right? Try that here and see what happens. Try that in any of these countries, see what happens. Because there's examples all over YouTube of people showing up with little or nothing. Who do you know volunteered to help them? Nobody. But the ones that kill me, though, especially in like Angola City and the ones that I've seen in Thailand, you got people walking through massage parlors, well-known red light districts, girls hollering at them, and then they'll put something like black men are wanted in Thailand. What? They treat every man like that walk through there. You could be a 90-year-old man with a hunchback with no teeth, with a cane, welding glasses on, and an oxygen tank. They're going to treat you the same way. It don't even matter. That doesn't even matter. So I don't know. It just amazes me. And then people believe it. People believe that crap. The active shooter or shooting taken out, neutralized. Base lockdown, commander chief notified. Okay, wow. So they took care of that pretty quick. Oh, for any of you that have been to Thailand, did I just tell a lie? For any of you all that's been to Thailand, I've been in the Philippines. I've been through Angola. I never stopped it, but I've been through it and I've seen it. I've seen these girls holler at anybody. I've seen it here. It don't matter. You got money, they got time for you. They got time for you. So don't be fooled, guys. Don't come to these countries expecting women to fall all over you as soon as you get out of the taxi because you're American or because you African American. That's not true. And depending on where you are in the world, Latin America is totally different than Asia America. In the Philippines, from my memory in the Philippines, the girls are shy. The only girls that's going to be aggressive with you are bar girls, and girls who are working girls. Those are the only girls I remember being aggressive. When you go to the normal areas in the malls, you talking to women there, they shy. They are shy. It's nothing like totally different. I heard that about Sasua Angelicida years ago, but had no idea it was prostitution until years later. I was like, yo, they're not, bro. They're not dying for these dudes to just come. Oh, it's African American. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Tell them to walk through there with no money. Tell them, hey, I got nothing. What can you do for me? Tell your ass to go to another direction. That's about it. They made it sound like it was just a regular area with regular. No, dog. No. You look at any of these videos, man, where any of these girls are talking to these guys, 90% of the time it's a working area. Think about every video you all have ever seen about Medellin. Where you see them in the mall talking to somebody. Where you see them on the streets other than what entitled Parque Aires, El Centro. Where else do you see them go talking to somebody? Name me somewhere else here in Medellin that you see these YouTubers actually talk about that they go where there's no working girl. Where they go? Where the name was spotted? Where they go? I haven't seen one in a mall pick up nobody. I haven't seen one at a church, at a grocery store, walking down the street from any of these places pick up anybody. Where are they? Strip clubs, El Centro, Parque Aires. That's it. That's it. And they ain't even talking. That's the money talking. What are they saying when they don't even speak the language? What are they saying to them? Nothing. They go out, they look at each other. She says the price. He says yes. They off. That's it. That's it. So don't be fooled, man. Again, I'm not knocking these people for their hustle because this is how they survive overseas. You know, you get enough desperate dudes who want to see a young girl in a bikini or a young girl half naked, they're going to click onto the video. And they hear what they want to hear and they satisfied. Some join the group, some don't, but that's what they do. That's the truth. That guy video you played owes a lot of child support. Oh, he ain't never going back to the States then. He got to get it on YouTube. And even with that, it won't be long before they start garnishing whatever wages he gets. So good luck to him. Good luck to him. Wow, he owes a lot of child support. You know what, man? I never understood that. Let me get off. Been on by almost an hour and a half. I never understood that. I'm gonna take care of my child first before I do anything else. Me gonna be last. The child gonna be first. That's real talk. I don't know how these guys do that and then get online and want to give advice. I don't get that one, bro. That's me, but hey, it is what it is. He said his baby mama stressing him. She didn't have the child alone. That's all I can say about that. Makes me upset, bro. I don't worry about these grown men. You know, I don't worry about them. It is what it is. But to cap this off, man, for those of you who are serious about traveling, please get health insurance or have some kind of way to pay for emergency situations. Please do not just show up to these countries. You got nothing and you hoping somebody gonna help you. In these countries, these developing countries, they do not have money for American citizens. You got to have your own. You expected to have your own. When you come to countries like this, there's a certain expectation for you as an American citizen. The last thing they expect an American citizen to do is live right next door to them in bad areas. And they're going, wait, you're supposed to be a rich gringo. At least that's what a lot of them think, that most Americans that come here are rich. You know, you got money for a flight, you got money somewhere to stay. You should have money for everything. That is not the case. But all right, guys, hopefully this helps someone out. Mr. Wayne, appreciate that update, man, about the active shooter at the Air Force Base in New England. But other than that, guys, that's going to do it. I appreciate it again. And this was broadcast on both channels. So until the next time, guys, I'm out. Peace. Enjoy the rest of your day.